Hi guys, it's Igor, and today our hero is 2012 Honda Odyssey Touring. Brake system also not the sportiest one on the market. It happens that you have to replace axles. Honda doesn't use any soft materials on dashboard, everything is plastic. Problem is that Toyota's engine for this generation has very unreliable water pump. Honda Odyssey is one of the biggest minivan with interior space on the market. Honda Odyssey was one of the most expensive minivan on the market. Touring Elite price was around $44,000. Current generation was built from 2011 until 2017. In this video we will compare Odyssey with Toyota Sienna and many other brands. Also we will tell you about reliability, especially in this car. Right now this car has 110,000 miles. We will show you how this car looks under the knees. You will understand how bad this car or how good is this car protected from the rust. Also we will tell about interior features and specs. People that follow auto industry knows that Honda has very deep sport history. And you can find a lot of car advertising or magazine or, for example, car reviewer who tells that Honda Odyssey one of the best driving SUV on the market. But in the same time, a lot of car magazine reporters, and I would say even on my own experience, I would say it's not really true. Probably Honda or somebody else paid for these channels or people and ask them to tell that it's really sporty car, but to be honest it's not really true. My opinion based on my own opinion and according to all advertisements and all magazines which I read before this review. According to data, all these cars look exactly the same. I mean, I'm talking about Toyota Sienna, Dodge Caravan, or Nissan Quest. All specs like lateral acceleration, acceleration from 0 to 60, brake distance, all this car has pretty the same numbers. For example, a lot of car reviewer tells that the Honda Odyssey has the best sporty handling compared to any other minivans. But according to magazine Motor Trend, the best handling minivan on the market is a Dodge Caravan RT, which I can confirm even with my own experience. But guys, it's just feeling. According to data, everything almost the same. Honda Odyssey equipped with less powerful engine on the market. This current engine has just 248 horsepower and 250 pounds of torque. Any other brand has much more. Also, you can choose two different transmissions for Honda Odyssey. Before 2014, you can choose between 5-speed and 6-speed automatic transmission. In our case, it's 6-speed automatic. Before 2014, you can get only if you purchase Honda Odyssey Touring or Touring Elite. Any other version has 5-speed automatic transmission. After 2014, they start to install 6-speed automatic transmission on any version. The combination of both of these transmission in engine allow you to own the most fuel-efficient minivan on the market. But it's only accordingly to manufacturer specs. If you compare a real test drive, Toyota Sienna could get even better gas mileage. But I would say yes, Toyota Sienna and Honda Odyssey is two most fuel-efficient minivans on the market. The gas mileage for Honda Odyssey is 18.7 mpg in city and 27 on the highway. A lot of people who are interested in car industry knows that Honda Odyssey has a pretty bad reputation with his transmission. But that's not about this generation and even not about previous. They really fixed this situation, and right now current generation of Honda Odyssey with current engine and current transmission, 6-speed or 5-speed automatic transmission, I think it's one of the most reliable engine and transmission on the market for this year. The bad thing about this transmission is only how nervous it is. I would say if this transmission gets older, for example, as on this vehicle with 110,000 miles, it's still reliable. And I saw a lot of our customer cars who has the same transmission for 260,000 to 270,000 miles without replacement, but transmission works a little bit jerky. And even if you're gonna replace transmission oil, sometimes it doesn't help at all. With the age, I would say I wish to have Toyota's transmission under this hood. A lot of people think that it's very bad that Honda still make his engine with a timing belt, but it's not really true. For example, for the same years, if you compare Toyota's engine and Honda's engines, I mean V6 engine, you will find out that you have to replace a timing belt on a Honda each 100,000 miles. But Toyota has timing chain, and you don't have to do this. But one small thing. Problem is that Toyota's engine for this generation has very unreliable water pump. And to replace this water pump, you need to spend at least 4.5 hours to replace it. And usually, it's happened even before 100,000 miles. I saw Toyota's engines with 60,000 miles when you're supposed to replace this water pump. And price to replace this water pump, it's even more expensive compared to timing belt replacement on a Honda. But in case with Toyota, you can get just new water pump. But if you replace timing belt on Honda's engine, you get new timing belt, a lot of pulleys, tensioners, and it looks like engine in general starts to be more newer. And for this kind of job on Honda, you need just 3.5 hours, which is cheaper than 4.6 hours on Toyotas for replacement water pump. Also, no matter what you have, Toyota or Honda, you're supposed to replace spark plugs each 100,000 miles. And on Honda, it's also cheaper. For example, to replace spark plugs on the Honda, you need at least 1 hour, which is $100 of labor, right? And also, like, each spark plugs could cost you around $12–15 if you're gonna choose the most advanced iridium one. But on Toyota, because spark plugs on a back on the engine located under the intake manifold, you need to take this intake manifold out on Sienna, and that's why you're supposed to spend again another 3.5 hours of labor, which is again, yes, it's one time per per 100,000 miles, but it's more expensive. Less stuff on Honda is very reliable, only maybe not the best on its power steering pump. Sometimes you can feel when you turn your steering that it's get a little bit hard in some points. Usually this means that you need to replace power steering pumps. They have this for generals, for generations, I mean, and I would say don't really fix this problem, but again, it's very reliable car. And even if this happens, it doesn't mean that your steering will stuck sometimes. Most of the time, to fix this problem, you need to replace just your fluid inside the power steering system, but if it's not gonna work, yes, you have to replace power steering pump. Air filter, very easy to replace. You just need to remove these clips. It's 3 of them on this oil air filter. The same situation with the cabin filter. I would say Honda, it's really a vehicle which you can do the most expensive service by yourself. At least spark plugs, filters, that's all what you can do by yourself. Good thing about Honda Odyssey is it's a tire size. On Touring and Touring Elite version you can get 18-inch rims, but it doesn't matter, it's very big tires with nice sidewall, which makes this car very comfortable. And tire size for Touring Elite is 235/60 R18. For 17-inch rims for cheaper version is 235/65/17. But if you want something wider, you can install 255/55/18 on 18-inch rims, or for example 255/60/17 on 17-inch rims. Because of the less powerful engine, Honda is one of the slowest minivan on the market. From 0 to 60 on Honda Odyssey you can get in 7.9 seconds if you choose most advanced and most equipped vehicle with a lot of features as a TV, vacuum cleaner, and any other stuff which increase weight of this car. If you choose the lightest version, which is LATCH with just 7-passenger seat without all these features, yes, you can get for 7.4 seconds. Toyota will beat you. Toyota will get from 0 to 60 in 7.1 seconds, but Caravan is the same 7.9 as Odyssey. No matter what kind of minivan you would choose in this era, the lateral acceleration would be the same, around 0.76 G. After 2014 reinstalling for Honda Odyssey, they received a little bit darker headlights, and what is nicest feature that they install right now aluminum hood, aluminum fenders, and even lower aluminum controller arms. In this case, of course, Honda get lighter and better gas mileage. Honda Odyssey is one of the most safest minivan on the market, thanks to a lot of amount of hard steel and also big amount of airbags. The 56% of frame Honda Odyssey is hard steel material. Thanks to all this hard steel, Honda improved its safety. Brake system also not the sportiest one on the market, but good that it is the same as any other minivans. To stop from 70 miles to 0, Hondas need 187 feet. Sienna 186, Caravan 189, the same numbers. The price for brake job is very usual for this car. If you want to replace brake pads and rotors from regular mechanics, would cost you around $360–340. Just for brake pads, usually around $160. Of course, you can do this by yourself and find some even brake pad sets for $30, but be careful with some Chinese brand. Usually they never stop very well and they wear very fast. I really love Honda's driver seats, I would say any seats. They're really nice and soft and really allow you to travel for long distance. Nice side support, almost like on any other sports car. Armrest, I would say it's not so comfortable because it's not wide, but in minivan you can forget about this because you have nice niche on the center of your console, which you can also remove by pulling this one. Also, you can take this even as a cooler on your beach and fill it with ice in your beer. Driver has very nice seat position on his steering wheel. You can adjust them by how deep in and out and up and down. Maybe only one wishing, but again, it's not very common for Hondas, it's mostly for BMW. If you can turn a little bit your dashboard on driver side, because some buttons it's hard to reach, it's a little bit far away, but again, it's more than enough. Very bad that Honda doesn't use any soft materials on dashboard. Everything is plastic, but texture is nice and looks like expensive material and feel like expensive. We have touring model with navigation, with 3-zone climate control, with DVD player for back seats. If you're gonna choose Touring Elite, you can get a widescreen monitor on the back. We have just regular one. A lot of cup holders, power outlets, 1, 2 power outlets, IEX cable. And one of the coolest features on Honda Odyssey is that you can put your drinks over here, at least 4 bottles from Coca-Cola, maybe around 8 cans. Press this button, cool box, and they're gonna be cold for a long period. Pretty big glove box, but compared to Toyota Sienna is smaller, and nice features that you can connect some USB device over here, and in this case you can listen to your music or any other stuff, whatever you need to charge, you can use in your glove box. Of course, Toyota Sienna in this case is more preferred vehicle because they have not only bottom glove box, they have even on the top. Always was weird for me why Honda install automatic windows only on front windows, or just for one for driver. I think for price for more than $40,000 you should get for all of them is automatic. Touring version equipped with rear entertainment system, but only with a small screen. If you want something bigger, you should choose Touring Elite. In this case, you can get really wide screen, which you can split for both passenger on the back seat. From my experience, minivans is most messiest vehicle everywhere, because usually for big family, usually with the kids, it's a lot of mess inside. Plus, usually all big families has dog, and this is the reason why minivan is so dirty. But Honda tried to solve this problem. They installed special trash holder over here. You see a special frame over here. You put your trash bag here, and at least after a long trip you can put this trash somewhere in a different place, not to keep you in minivan. Screen shade on the back seat. Depending on the version, you can get 8-seat passenger or 7-seat passenger. And if you're gonna choose 7-passenger version, you're not gonna have this center seat. And right now I will show you how you can get to third row. Let's begin. Just press this button, it's moved all the way on the front, and okay, we are here. The Odyssey third row is the most comfortable third row compared to any other minivan. First of all, it has armrest. Not all minivans can propose this. Second thing, the seat is really high quality and soft. Another thing is that you have a lot of cup holders. You can fold this one to use them as second row cup holder, or the same as for third row. 3 cup holders over here, 2 in each armrest. Also, these panels, they're nice and soft. Compared to any other minivan, usually they have plastic. Honda installed soft material. Also, thanks to this design of rear window, Honda has real normal size of the window. Plus, again, sunshade even for third row. And 4 air vents even for third row passengers. And even airbag curtains for third passenger. Airbag over here, airbag over here. It's a very safe car. For back passenger you have charger, for example for your Xbox or something like this. Audio video input system. your earphones with low volume adjustment. If you're gonna choose more expensive version as a Touring Elite, you can get even HDMI port. According to Honda information, the Honda Odyssey is one of the biggest minivan with interior space on the market. Right now I'm sitting behind myself and my height is 6.1, and see how much space I have. At least, I don't know, maybe 3-4 inches. According to Honda specs, you have 40.9-inch legroom, which is bigger compared to Toyota Sienna. Toyota Sienna has just 37.6. But if you need your minivan mostly for 5 people and you need big trunk, I think Sienna is much better choice, because Sienna could have options to move all the seats all the way back, and in this case nobody will compare with Toyota Sienna. To prove this, you can watch our review about Toyota Sienna 2018. Honda's Odyssey is one of the most, I think, comfortable. The seats is most comfortable. The way how you can transform the seats is the like biggest amount of space. And one of my favorite things, it's like from my own experience, it's very nice when you can move your back seat as close as possible to driver. For example, if you're a single mom or driving this car just alone with your baby on the back seat, it's much easier to move, for example, the central part of the seat closer to you, and you always can reach your baby during the trip. If you need, I don't know, like check how he is feeling, something like get him, it's much more convenient. Back seat of Honda Odyssey equipped with 3 seats for child seats. As you can see, it's hooks everywhere, but on the middle seat you need to remove in case if you need to attach one more seat. And this minivan really allow you to put 3 kids car seats on one row. In case if your child car seat is too wide, you can move both side part of your back seat a little bit on the side, at least in 1.5–2 inches. How to do this? You just need to pull this button over here and then move like this. To be honest, it's not so easy as you can see on advertisement, and you need a little bit practice, but it's possible. Just did it. Check, at least 1.5 inches between each seat. This is the way how you can install 3 car seats without any problem. To get on the back seats, you can choose like any of your options. You can just pull your handle and door will close or open. You can do this from your remote. You can press this button over here, or just easily, put this handle on a door. You can open your back doors from buttons on the dashboard, and also you have memory on your driver's door for 2 passengers. The trunk lid is electrically operated, but problem is that you can open with electric power only from remote. By pressing this button, is nothing happens. You should pull it a little bit, but you can close. But again, location of the button should be somewhere over here to easy access. Some people complain that the trunk in Odyssey is too big, but I think if it's gonna be like in Nissan Quest, it's not even a minivan. You need space to put your luggage, and the luggage compartment volume for Honda Odyssey is 38.4, only a little bit bigger in Toyota Sienna, 39.9. To fold the seats and increase your luggage space is very easy. Just need to pull this strap. Okay, and we have nice and flat floor. Right now, middle row is all the way to the front. That's the way how you can get the biggest amount of your trunk space. If you fold your back seat, you can get something like 148.5 cubic feet of luggage compartment. You have 2 really nice size side niche in the trunk, but if you're gonna choose more expensive version after 2014, you can get vacuum cleaner over here, but this shelf can fit even 1-gallon windshield washer. Okay, what I can tell you about handling of Honda Odyssey. In general, I don't like it. Why I don't like it? Because it reminds me Honda Pilot, which is kind of reasonable, because a car built on the same platform, with the same suspension, with the same brakes, with the same engine and transmission. And that's the reason why I don't like, because it drives, I would say, mostly like SUV. It's not so nice handling car as the next generation of Honda Odyssey, but in the same time it's very comfortable. Comfortable because of the big tires with nice and big sidewall. You almost eat any bumps on the road. It's very comfortable. But my biggest complaint on Honda Odyssey is about transmission. If you ever saw our other review about, for example, Acura RDX or any other vehicle with the same kind of transmission as on this Honda, we tell that it's too jerky. And like on Acura RDX was too jerky. I believe on MDX by MDX was the newest car. It was like most smoothest one. But for minivan, I wish to get little bit softer shifting and less play between gears to understand which one you need to put now, because this computer which like manage your transmission, I would say sometimes don't understand what's really need to turn on right now. I think for family vehicle would be better to have the same transmission, for example, as on Toyota Sienna. Maybe that's the reason why Honda switched his own transmission to ZF transmission, because of this algorithms, how it works. I believe a lot of customers doesn't like how it works, and they complain to Honda and they put ZF transmission right now. But at the same time, I kind of upset about this, because the ZF transmission is usually not so reliable, and for first couple of years people complain about again like hard shifting, and Honda decided to do update. But the current transmission on Honda Odyssey, yes, maybe not the smoothest one, but very reliable. Also, I wish to have a little bit more sporty steering wheel, but it's just me. Reason why I want this, because steering, especially in highway, feels a little bit empty around the zero position, and first 10 degree when you turn steering on the left or on the right feels a little bit empty. The same story was with Honda Pilot. Last couple years of build previous generation of Pilot, the square box, and I also didn't like this. But in the same time, my wife was in love with this car, because she thinks it's like perfect for women, very easy to turn, and I believe it's really fine if you're gonna use this car mostly in the city. Of course, if you're gonna work with your steering a lot, it's much better compared to hard steering as on BMW. I hate BMW steering in the city. Brakes also very usual, and the same like as on any other car. I wish if they're gonna be more aggressive, but maybe they fixed this problem in 2014 when they did last redesign and improved brakes, because for first couple of years of production current generation Honda Odyssey, a lot of customers complain about rotors overheating. I don't feel anything like this over here, but again, like if you're gonna replace rotors from last year of production, Honda Odyssey is definitely supposed to work better with heat reducing, and also the brake would work more powerful. One complaint about how this car holds during the big turn, it really has a small rollover resistance, probably because this car doesn't have rear stabilizer bar. Yes, it's lower compared, for example, to Pilot, but in the same time, without swipe bar on the back, it's not really good handling car. Definitely new generation of Odyssey is better. But again, guys, for this kind of years, doesn't matter, Odyssey was always one of the best in the class. If you compare Odyssey with Toyota Sienna, Odyssey is definitely more driver's car. Noise insulation also I wish to be better. I think for pretty expensive cars, which some of them cost over $40,000, it could be quiet, but they improve this in next generation. But if you wish to buy this one, I would say they all the same. Sienna, any Korean braids like Sedona, they all the same. Don't worry, you don't have another options. We're underneath of 2012 Honda Odyssey with 106,000 miles. Looks pretty good. You see much more anti-rust coating, especially over here under the trunk and under the spare tire niche. It's a fuel tank, it's a spare tire niche. Rear suspension, pretty simple, much more simple compared to new generation, which means that this car has much worse handling, because as you can see, no stabilizer bar on this generation. But at the same time, it's much easier to repair. Exhaust system still original, which is good. If you're gonna use synthetic oil, catalytic converters easy can be alive more than 150,000 miles. And if you use like good gas and at least synthetic oil. But most weakest spot is, as usually, nuts on catalytic converter. You see they already burn out. And this flex pipe, it's hard to reach. I would say not really hard, but not the best area to reach. It's oxygen sensor. You see this green wire. It go all the way on the top over here. And again, it's pretty expensive, at least $150. And I would recommend use only original one or some good brand as NGK or Densa. It happens that you have to replace axles, also usually around 120,000 miles, but it's pretty easy. You see, on redesigned version they have aluminum control arms and more hard steel in the body. That's why redesigned version is more safer compared to this one 2012. I'm talking about 2014, and more lighter. Hub bearing on Odyssey also, in general on Honda, much better compared to Toyota. And usually we never replace them even until 200,000 miles. On Honda Odyssey, a lot of people complain about brakes on the front. They get like damaged very fast, sometimes even on almost brand new cars. But you can solve this problem if you're gonna install drilled rotors. In this case, they're gonna overheat much less and the vibration will be much less on the front rotors. Because brakes itself is fine, but usually people complain about vibration. It's always good to bring Honda Odyssey after snow or some dirty road to car wash and wash this car underneath, because you see all these spots. That's where your salt or dirt from your road will accumulate, and usually heat line and AC line get rusty in this spot behind this rubber protection line. With the steering system, most of the time you have to replace just outer tire rod or inner, and again it's usually at the mileage after 100,000 miles. Parts is cheap for Honda Odyssey. Control arms you can find something around $60. Outer, inner tire rods, $30 per each easy. The same about brake pads, 25 and up. It's cheap to maintain car and simple car to maintain. AC system on Toyota usually better, but on this generation of Honda Odyssey usually they fine, probably because they install different design of AC compressor, which is usually not really nice spot on Iker MDX, on previous generation of Odyssey or any CRV, because as I can see over here it's much smaller size compressor, maybe because of this it's more reliable. I wish if Honda will put some more anti-rust coating over here on top of the back suspension, but you see, you can see some rust, especially over here on the welding spot. Weird why they put so much anti-rust coating on the trunk's bottom, but nothing on the welding spot, on area where it usually get rusty much faster. I think biggest concern about rust I have over here behind the right rear tires. You see how much dirt over here accumulate because they didn't have plastic shield on the top of the exhaust system, which is understandable because it's gonna melt. But on the left side they have it, and left side looks clean, but rust, I mean right side is more rusty, and I believe the first hole if you're gonna get on your Odyssey would be here. Maybe it would be nice to put some at least foil or something like this to protect this area, or maybe a piece of aluminum. For touring version you can get front and rear parking sensors and backup camera, which is nice because screen on Honda Odyssey is horrible quality. Sometimes you don't see anything, and they have parking sensors, very nice. If you like this content, please give us thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for visiting our channel, and see you soon.